352 Shares Instantly Shift into Self-Love. Let's look at 5 ways to instantly shift into a state of self-love so you can not only bring a greater sense of well-being, joy, and vibrancy into your own life, but also, so that you can fill yourself up with love, so you can then begin to overflow. What is self-love really? Self-love has become quite a buzzword in the spiritual community, and I want to start by offering a key point of differentiation. Self-love is different from being of service to self. Being of service to self is where you put your interest above those of everyone else. Self-love, on the other hand, is where you make a commitment to your own well-being, where you love yourself first, so you that can truly love others. Where you fill yourself up with love and take care of yourself by doing the things that help you to feel inner peace and balance so that you're able to shine your divine authentic truth. Self-love then becomes the foundation for you to overflow love and be of service towards others in the highest interest of all, in a way you love and enjoy. And really, self-love is so essential because it's love, true love, love with a capital L, that opens the doorway for the light to fill you. Love is an essential foundation not only for you to love others, but also for spiritual awakening, for you to expand your consciousness, raise your vibration, and truly experience a higher level of light in your life. So self-love is important, and yet it's something that so many people are challenged with. So these 5 things are really profound to help you instantly and immediately shift out of judgment, out of fear, out of lower vibrational habits and into your truth and authenticity. Into a state of self-love. 5 self-love tips to instantly shift. 1. Make an internal commitment to love yourself. So the first way to shift is to recognize the importance of self-love and then make an internal commitment and intention to love yourself more, to love yourself why, and to love yourself exactly as you are. In setting an intention to love yourself and really committing to it, that unwavering commitment changes everything. Have you ever heard that change happens in an instant? It really is so true. And in this moment, if you commit, I love myself, I now love myself, I now treat myself with self-love and care, everything in your life can begin to change to come into alignment with this new intention and truth. A quick story for you. When I was growing up, I was very sensitive. And I was also made fun of a lot. And that combination for me really created a sense of self-judgment, of not feeling like I was lovable, or that I was enough. I was seriously lacking self-love in my life, and I felt terrible as a result. So when I learned about the importance of self-love, I started working with an affirmation that's really powerful that I want to share with you now. It's simply, I now love and approve of myself. I started working with this affirmation by reading it aloud, writing it down, and really, I just made the internal commitment to love myself. And through that commitment, through holding that intention, and through returning to that affirmation, my subconscious mind began to get on board with love. And new opportunities for me to practice loving myself began to appear through lessons and challenges to help me shift my vibrational state from a place of not loving myself and not valuing my own worth, to actually loving my true authentic self and letting my light shine in the world. Because I've made this journey from not loving myself, to filling myself up with so much love that I'm now able to overflow and help others. I know that regardless of how you feel about yourself now, returning to a state of self-love is possible for you. It really is possible for you to love yourself. And through this to realign with the truth of who you are, with your highest authenticity and with why you are really here. Making the shift into love starts with your internal commitment. I now cultivate self-love. I now love and approve of myself. To quiet the inner critic. The second thing to cultivate love now is to become aware of and begin to quiet and dismiss your inner voice of judgment. To quiet that voice of your inner critic. We all have an inner critic at some level. Mine happened to be very, very loud. Do you get what I'm talking about here? The voice that tells you you're not good enough, the voice that says you're not worthy. The inner voice of self-judgment that says whatever it is saying to you, that's just not true. You may hear it in your own voice. It may sound like the voice of a parent, or a sibling, or some other authority figure who made you feel like you're not worthy. That made you feel like the truth of you is not enough, and so you put on a mask or tried to hide your light. Well, as someone who learned to take off the masks and come out of hiding, I'm here today to remind you that who you are is exactly who you're meant to be. And when you take off the masks, and realign with your highest authenticity, bringing your true gifts to the world, well, that is exactly what the world needs. And as we each as individuals come into alignment with our authentic truth, and start loving ourselves, so that we're each able to shine our light and overflow love, then as one, we can truly change the world. So pay attention to your thoughts. Observe your thoughts, and notice when you're having thoughts that are out of alignment with that intention you set to love yourself. Remember that you can choose to dismiss thoughts. You don't have to buy into them, you do not have to believe them, and rather you can ignore them and let them go. So when your inner critic and voice of judgment says you're worthless, let it go, let it dissolve, and melt away. You can also imagine that you're putting the judgmental thought into a balloon and releasing it into the light. Visualize it floating up and away, and then consciously return to love. I am worthy of love. I love and approve of myself. So observing your thoughts is so key and is a powerful way for you to shift into self-love by recognizing those thought patterns you have that often are habitual, and so often are unnoticed, and yet they're incredibly draining to your divine life force. And so get them out of the unconscious by observing them and by paying attention to them. Then make the choice to ignore them, to let them go, and to replace them with an empowering thought, with a self-loving thought with, I love you. 3. Lean into the present moment. The third way to instantly empower you shift into a state of self-love is to lean into present moment, to become present in the moment that is now. Know that regardless of whatever is happening in your life, nothing has to change in the external for you to love yourself. So amidst whatever you're doing, if you're washing dishes, if you're driving to work, give yourself the gift of the present by becoming present in the now. By leaning into the present moment and embrace it. Feeling the sensation of the air around you, the feel of your hands on the steering wheel, or the feel of the warm water on your hands as you're washing dishes. Feel, see what's really happening around you, observe and take it all in. Listen and hear the sounds, know, and be present, doing what you're doing. And then, remember your intention, and choose to cultivate a sense of love now. Remember that in every moment, you are directly connected to the divine love of the infinite, which flows throughout creation, which is underlying every moment, and it's simply a matter of your leaning into love, tuning into love, and letting love flow through you. So lean in, open your heart, tune into love, and let love circulate through your being. Remember that it's love that opens the doorway for the light to fill you. So when you become present, when you consciously choose to embody a state of love, in the present moment, any activity, whatever you're doing, can be an opportunity to expand your consciousness, to raise your vibration, to love yourself more, and to shine the truth of your authentic light. 4. Let go of what no longer serves you. The fourth way to love yourself more is to become aware of how you're acting out of alignment with love. What things are you doing? What actions are you taking? What habits do you have that really required, and yet aren't loving, and aren't supporting your well-being? What do you keep doing that's not assisting you in shining more of your divine truth and authentic light? When you become aware of the many little things you're doing that are actually weighing you down, and then you choose to let them go, and replace those things with what is rewarding and joyful for you, you're able to power shift. So make time in your schedule for the things that recharge you, and help you to shine your highest light. So what do you need to let go of to do this? To be able to prioritize fun, play, laughter, inner peace, balance, and harmony. Yes, this includes quieting the voice of the inner critic, but it's also about becoming aware of and letting go of those habits or patterns you're in that are actually draining to you, and yet, you keep returning to. Make a commitment to loving yourself, and start to shift and let go of what's not serving. So instead of going to your phone and browsing Facebook first thing in the morning, meditate. Or instead of driving through the fast food restaurant on the way home from work, maybe you swing through the grocery store and get what you need to make a salad. Or instead of downing half a bottle of wine Friday evening because you feel stressed, check out that relaxing and distressing yoga class, or take a salt bath with a big mug of herbal tea. These are just a couple of examples. And really, this is so personal. The key here is to gain awareness into your actions and your impulses to action and start choosing to act on those inner impulses that are truly in alignment with your intention to love yourself more. And when you find yourself stuck in old patterns, habits or addictions that are not nurturing for you, ask your soul for guidance as to how to let these things go, and to find new creative solutions for what will actually support you in loving and nurturing yourself more. This is big because when you bring your actions into alignment with love, you're able to shift. The love you then cultivate for yourself brings you the energy and love you need to overflow, to truly love others, and to create ripples of love out far beyond you. When you love yourself first, you align with the strength, light, and divine will to make progress in alignment with your purpose and to make a difference in the world. 5. Take action and create meaningful process that perfectly leads into the 5th thing you need to know about how to instantly shift into self-love. And that is to commit to and get to work creating and taking action steps in the direction of what's meaningful for you, in the direction of your purpose. And I led in here saying to take steps in the direction of what's meaningful for you because you might not know what your true soul purpose is, or it might feel a little hazy. And yet, you might have that project that feels meaningful for you, working on a scrapbook, decluttering your home, creating a quilt for your grandchild, taking a course, working on writing your book, or creating a website, or putting your message out there to offer services. How are you being called to be of service in the world, to be of service to others in a way you love and enjoy? When you begin to take steps in that direction, to follow your heart, and to begin to create in a way that's meaningful, that's also of service and in the highest interest of all, that is one of the most fulfilling, rewarding and loving things that you can do. That truly exemplifies what self-love is. It's acting in a way that you love and enjoy. But that's also in the highest interest of all. So if you're in doubt, get into action. If you're feeling bad about yourself, how can you recharge your light? How can you quickly shift your energy, so that you can start being of service to others? Oftentimes, when you're helping someone else, when you are assisting someone, when you're doing charity, when you're helping others, when you're being of service, that is what feels most rewarding. Being of service and taking steps to help others is inspiring, and actually recharges your light even more. And then you're able to serve more, to love more, because you're filling yourself up with love and passing it on. You're in the flow of love. So recognize, pay attention, observe your state, and remember that the true state of your being is love. You are a powerful spiritual being of light and love, and you can bring that higher light and perspective, wisdom and frequency into alignment with yourself in the physical now. Return to love in an instant. Right now, make the commitment, observe, and choose to shift into love. Choose to shift into taking action, to be your biggest supporter and encourager, to fill yourself up with light and love. To take care of you so that you can not only shine your truth and inner light, but you're able to shine so bright that you overflow love out beyond you to make a difference in the world. Making a difference in the world, being of service to others in a way you love and enjoy, that is also in the highest interest of all.